awarded the state of Pennsylvania. Do you believe Joe Biden won in 2020 in Pennsylvania?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
And let me explain how.
I'll let you explain it, but I want to just make sure we go sequentially.
David Pakman is once again getting absolutely cooked on his own show, the David Pakman Show. This time he brings on an actual expert who doesn't really get into a big heated argument. He stays calm and just absolutely obliterates every single talking point that David Pakman has stolen from the woke cult, but that David Pakman is throwing at this guy. I don't think he's a hardcore Republican. I don't actually know who this is. His name is Bobby Pitton. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Never heard of this guy, but he's definitely more numbers oriented. He's definitely obviously an expert, and he absolutely tears to shreds every single argument and every single talking point that David Pakman throws his way. Let's get into this clip here where David Pakman once again gets destroyed on his own show.
Who's the current president of the United States?
Who's the current president? Well, I guess it's a funny question.
Is it really?
Yeah, I do think we live in a very interesting time where there's forces beyond our visibility that
like supernatural.
Not supernatural.
Oh.
There's a group of extremely wealthy, beyond wealthy, like uber wealthy individuals, not just in the United States but globally.
Okay. That
call the shots on both parties, not just one party.
Okay.
And so it's almost as though there's a bunch of horse trading taking place behind the scenes. And so, from that perspective, I do believe the will of the American people was ignored in 2020, and the person that's in there is the person that these globalists put in, and that's in. And I, what I would tell you is, I have overwhelming proof. I'll actually be releasing proof about Illinois tomorrow. General Flynn will be in town. I have a fundraiser for my campaign. Ann Vandersteel, Doug Billings, Jovan Pulitzer, Liz Harris from Arizona, Edward Solomon, who's done mathematical work on proving that our elections across the aisle, folks, the uniparty is very real, and frankly, it's undermining you and me.
Okay, Bobby, that's a lot. So let's take it piece by piece.
Sure.
Who are the rich globalists?
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
Globalists that you're talking about.
Well, there's a corporate class.
Okay.
A global corporate class that exists that considers themselves to have more rights than any individuals within any nation state.
Who are they?
CEOs of major global corporations.
But can you name some specific people?
So, like, for example, think of BlackRock. BlackRock controls $9 trillion of assets through their structure. He's been in control for over 30 years.
Okay. Who else?
That's one. Bill Gates is one who parlayed his fortune in Microsoft into other areas.
Okay.
So
why do these leftists play dumb though? Like, I don't get it. David Pakman knows this. David Pakman knows exactly who this guy is talking about. Like, why do we have to specify names? Whenever you say the globalist cabal, like, everybody knows exactly who you're talking about. You're talking about, Bill Gates, the same people that he just listed off, and he's going to go on for longer. But David Pakman's playing dumb as if he doesn't know who this globalist cabal is. I mean, it includes people like the Obamas, the Clintons, and then the owners of all these corporations that very obviously run the world, the weapons manufacturers that have bought out multiple of our politicians, probably the majority of our politicians, and trying to push them towards war so that they can make even more money. Even though they have more money they could possibly spend already, they're willing to go and risk, not just risk, but take away innocent lives because they want to make more money. It's crazy that these people just play dumb. I don't understand how the left, the party that's supposed to be more rebellious, the party that's like, the party of hippies and stuff, they all of a sudden just, it seemed like in 2016, just flipped into the PR team of the establishment, of the globalist establishment, the globalist cabal. When did this happen? Now we have David Pakman, one of the largest creators on the left. He's playing dumb as if he doesn't know who the globalist cabal is.
You can argue that Elon Musk is one who's kind of like leaning from left back to right, possibly right for the first time in his life.
I definitely would argue that Elon Musk is one. Like, I know a lot of people are going to get pissed off at that, but I mean, dude, Elon Musk has maybe the most pull out of all of them. Now, I don't know if he has any politicians bought out, so maybe they still have the upper hand on him there. But like, the guy has the most influence on any social media platform. He actually owns one of the social media platforms, but also he's like, Zuckerberg's not as famous and doesn't have as much pull as Elon Musk has. He doesn't. So Elon Musk's not only extremely famous and well known and has that notoriety and the status, but also he owns a social media platform, maybe the largest in the world. I don't know how many users it has in comparison to Instagram or Facebook, but it is a very, very large social media platform, especially when it comes to gathering news. So he can kind of dictate which news is spread further and which ones aren't. Also, he's the richest man in the world outside of Russian oligarchs. The net worth of the net worths of the people who we actually know what their net worths are. He's the richest man in the world. And then also he is like living with Donald Trump right now at Mar-a-Lago. Like he is definitely has the ear of Donald Trump, who is the president tomorrow. Very, very soon Donald Trump will be the sitting president. So I don't know why David Pakman's playing dumb here, but also, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Do you guys think that Elon Musk is one of those people now that this guy's talking about?
Okay.
That's another one. Michael Eisner of Disney used to be one before he retired. Mm-hmm. There's always this legacy wealth that we all know exists, like the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, for example. The DuPont family backed the individual running for U.S. Senate in Pennsylvania. There's like 4,000 DuPonts.
Okay.
And so it's not like one boogeyman.
I got it. It's a bunch of people. Okay. And so do you trust the results from Pennsylvania from earlier this week, where this right-wing guy who believes the election was stolen in 2020, Doug Mastriano, he won on Tuesday? Do you trust those results or do you question them?
I think that that the results are what's the word I would use is they're probably manufactured to some degree. Yes. So I think it's across party lines.
So Doug didn't really win.
Well, first of all, here's my question: is if we were playing a board game, you and I and two other people, and somehow we knew that there was some stuff flawed with the way the game was set up.
Okay. And
we were playing, and one of us ended up winning, right? But we knew that it was flawed massively. Would it really feel like a win?
Okay, but I'm asking a different question, and I love this because we're really getting down to brass tacks here. In the November 2020 election, Joe Biden was awarded the state of Pennsylvania. Do you believe Joe Biden won in 2020 in Pennsylvania?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
And let me explain how.
But I'll let you explain it, but I want to just make sure we go sequentially. 2 days ago, Doug Mastriano won in Pennsylvania's gubernatorial primary. Do you believe he actually won?
I think that I have not looked at the data to make that assessment.
Oh.
So I looked at the data with regards to 2020. I actually broke out all 67 counties of the state of Pennsylvania, and I showed how they had destroyed entire last names of voters from both Republican and the Democratic side to create the outcome that they wanted mathematically. And it showed up in the voter registration files in the final result. They literally destroyed 695,000 individuals' names that didn't vote the way their algorithm wanted. And it's a brilliant way to hide their crime.
Why didn't a single court accept this?
Well, first of all, a couple things. Number one, that information was provided to the Georgia State Senate. Okay.
Wait, hold on. You're talking about Pennsylvania, but now you're talking about Georgia?
Because I released those results. I testified before the Georgia State Senate.
With the Pennsylvania results?
Because those votes were shifted to Georgia.
They shifted votes from Pennsylvania to Georgia.
To Georgia, like a stock portfolio algorithm.
And who did it? People in Pennsylvania or people in Georgia?
somebody, whoever has the power to control the voter registration files and the voting system of those two states did it.
It's just it's so funny, man, how David Pakman and these people just play dumb. I just don't get it. If you look at what happened in this 2024 election versus the 2020 election, there were certain states like Florida's probably the best example, that really went hard on election reform, which everybody should be doing. I don't get how you're not doing that. But if you look at the results on the 2024 presidential election night, Florida had theirs within an hour of closing the polls. They had who won that state. Now, obviously, the state is a lot more red leaning than, a lot of the other states out there. It's not necessarily a swing state. So it's pretty easy to see who's going to win. But they had the majority of their votes counted within an hour of closing the polls. And then you have Arizona and California and these West Coast states that it took them a week to count a lot of the votes. It took them a couple of days to figure out who was actually going to win those states. And then when it comes to like the races that were down ballot, it took them a couple of weeks to count those. I mean, that is just unacceptable. That is ridiculous. How are we in 2024 with the technology that we have? Well, I guess we're in 2025 now, but back then we're in 2024 with modern day technology, and it still takes multiple weeks to figure out who won presidential and other elections down ballot? How is that even a thing? And how is it also a thing that people like David Pakman and these leftists act like is not a problem, and these states act like they're not a problem? The reason why they're acting like they're not a problem is because all of them are left-leaning states. And so if they act like it's not a problem, then they know they get to be, they get to do some nefarious things, let's say. If they keep the elections how they are, and they don't do election reform. That's what I think. And that's the only logical explanation, I can't think of any other reason. Let me know in the comments why you think that would be the case. Also, let me know in the comments what you guys think about David Pakman once again getting cooked on his own show by this guy who brought all the receipts, who brought all the facts to David Pakman's show, and David Pakman's just left sitting there acting dumb, playing dumb. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this whole David Pakman versus his based guest situation.